Welcome back. I'm Mike Walter. There were more political turbulence in the South China Sea as both the Philippines and Vietnam challenged China's sovereignty and administrative rights. Wednesday, the Philippines detained 11 Chinese fishermen. Meanwhile, Hanoi filed a protest with Beijing over China's drilling rig in the area. For that, plus a look across China, CCTV's Zhang Shu joins us live from Beijing.
Thanks, Mike. Let me start with the Philippines. Philippine police seized a Chinese fishing boat at about 10 a.m. local time in waters off the Half Moon Shoal. 11 Chinese fishermen aboard were arrested for so-called illegal fishing in the area. The Diamond Fishing Association of South China's Hainan province says several armed men forced their way onto the boat and fired 4 or 5 shots in the air. They then took control of the boat. The Chinese Foreign Ministry on Wednesday urged the Philippines to immediately release both the detained fishermen and the boat.
China has indisputable sovereignty over the sea area, including the Banyue Shoal of Nansha Island. A Chinese maritime police boat has arrived in the sea area. China's foreign ministry and China's ambassador to the Philippines have made representations to the Philippine side, demanding that it provide a rational explanation and immediately release the people and the vessel. We once again warn the Philippines not to.
On the other hand, China said on Wednesday that operation of its drilling rig 981 near the Shisha Islands in the South China Sea is legal and urged Vietnam to stop disturbing China's exploration activities in its territorial waters. Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hua Chunying made the remarks at a regular press conference. She said the Maritime Safety Administration of China issued a navigational notice before the operation started, and that operation of the drilling rig is lawful in China's territorial waters. Earlier, the U.S. government has criticized China by describing the operation provocative. In return, Hua said the drilling is within the mandate of China's sovereignty and administration, which has nothing to do with either Vietnam or the U.S. Mike?
Zhang Shu, the Chinese government's pretty firm when it comes to the South China Sea, isn't it?
Well, Mike, I'm having difficulty hearing the last part of your question, but let me give you a timeline of China's efforts at this sovereignty issue. In 1946, the Chinese government, according to the Cairo Declaration and Potsdam Proclamation, regained its sovereignty over the South China Sea islands and reefs and re-erected a monument to sovereignty on the main island. 1 year later, China made public the old and new name table of the South China Sea Islands, which was put under the governance of Guangdong Province. In February 1948, the Chinese government released a South Sea Islands location map. Then in 1951, the Japanese peace treaty draft and San Francisco conference statement announced by Chinese former Premier Zhou Enlai pointed out that the Shisha, Nansha Islands, as well as Dongsha, Zhongsha Islands, have always been Chinese territory. In 1958, China proclaimed the declaration on the territorial sea, and afterwards, in the face of violations by foreign countries, the Chinese government has, on multiple occasions, reiterated its indisputable sovereignty over the Nansha Islands. So, Mike, based on these historical events, China has always insisted it has what it calls indisputable sovereignty in this area.